It is May the 1st, 2021. I'm Andy, and this is the Minorcan Mullet Report from the Golden Ray Rec site in the St.simons Sound. I got out today, and the first thing we noticed was that the Master Tyler, this is one of the contract trawlers that has been out in the Port of Brunswick, and occasionally we've seen it anchored up. It's been here for the duration of the operation. Just haven't seen much use out of the trawler in a while. There were actually two of these boats. If you guys remember, the Leah Jane was here as well. The Leah Jane was released and went back over to Louisiana, and the Master Tyler has stayed, but we saw the trawler out in action today, and it was trawling just west of the wreck. So we thought, wow, what could it have caught? So we followed it around, and we're going to share this video with you, and you guys can enjoy the anticipation just as much as we did watching the net being pulled up onto the deck of the Master Tyler. Now, we know that bycatch is a big concern with these boats, and the environmental impact it could have, being as that these boats aren't actually engaged in commercial fishing, yet they're pulling a commercial shrimping type trawl. I say that because these trawls are heavily modified. They have a very large mesh diameter to the net, and they're a very heavily constructed net, and they're designed for picking up debris that's going to be down in the water, close to the bottom or on the bottom of the river here in the Sound, and they, I guess, don't use them as much as they may like to because of the potential for bycatch. And we know the estuary is starting to wake up, and things are really starting to pop around here. Fishing is picking up, a lot more bird activity, a lot of dolphin. We're seeing a lot more dolphin out in the water. So yeah, activity, the marine life itself is really picking up in the Sound, as we'll see it happen in the springtime. But here we are, a good bit of time after the cut, and if there is any small debris, considering that we've had some full moon tides within the past few days, and the current out here is really running. It's 4.5 knots. Anything that's down there is bound to be moving or moved away by this time. I'm curious why this really doesn't take place closer after the lift to try to pin up and catch some of that debris before it has a chance to move around into the Sound area and maybe offshore and up and down the beaches. But the powers that be decide these things, and that's pretty much the size of it. We see the guys here, they're pulling up the net with the winch. They're going to pull it up alongside of the boat. Then they change over to another line that's attached to the upper rear part of the ship, and they'll pull it up onto the deck and trip the net and see what falls out of it. So we'll watch here and see that activity take place. Now we saw the net come up, and it didn't look like there was a lot of debris in it. We got some close-up shots, and it looks like there may have been a couple pieces of debris in the net. It's really hard to tell, but maybe right there in that webbing, it looks like there's possibly something in there. We keep seeing a shadow that's inside the net there. But it didn't look, we didn't see a big mound of stuff. So good and bad. Does that mean that there is stuff down there that's been moved around by the tidal currents? And this is just pieces that were stubbornly attached or locked in down around on the bottom. I don't know. If you guys see something in there, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Well, out at the site today, the VB10,000, both the spreader bars, those big metal I-beams up there where they secure the section of the ship when they're cutting on it. We saw that those were picked up today. They were up off the maintenance barge. So I'm assuming here that whatever maintenance had to be done to the blocks that work these spreader bars up and down, hopefully that's been completed and they've picked these up, and maintenance moves on to another area. But the maintenance barge was still in place at the site, and this time moved to the offshore side, or the left side there of the VB10,000, and it looked like work was still going on. And we got some pretty good shots of stuff going on the deck there of the maintenance barge. And one thing we picked up on, we're going to show you, and well, it's going to be a surprise coming up here. As we looked at the maintenance barge, we saw something today that we haven't seen before, and that is chain piled up on the deck here. And we're just wondering, is this the used chain? Wish we could have gotten a closer shot of this. We would love to see what kind of wear, if this was the used R5 chain that they used to finally finish that Section 7 cut. If this was it, that would be very interesting to look at that chain and see what kind of abuse it had taken as it powered through those really tough reinforced areas that they had so many problems with early on trying to cut through. Not really sure, but just noticing that's something that we had not seen before on the maintenance barge. So we thought we'd share that with you guys as well. But it looks like work is continuing. We're hoping to see the maintenance barge pull out soon. Whenever that happens, we know that they're starting to get engaged with the next cut. There's several steps, possibly to include refueling the VB10,000, any additional supplies that need to be brought in that are more easily transferred to the VB10,000 are usually done at this time. And as the maintenance portion of the cut is finishing up, we always really start to look and start to think about the next cut and when that's going to start. So maybe we'll start a poll tonight on the community tab to see when that's going to happen. See what you guys think. Well, we'll say goodbye to the VB10,000 for today and the Golden Ray. That's it for the report. We're going to ask you, if you haven't done it yet, do us a favor. Go ahead and click on that subscribe link. Send us some comments. And most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.